let's do it. I think we'll have.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome
to the Way to Work podcast. Here with the host Julian Leahy, and that was the voice of the very excited Andrew Murdoch. He couldn't wait to get involved. Welcome to the show, Andrew.
Sorry about the delay there, Julian. Thank you so much for having me. This is going to be fun.
The live streaming experience. All right, Andrew, I'll tell you how this works. So we're gonna play a game. You got lifelines. Now, the key to this is, if you don't know the answer, is to use your lifelines and don't just blurt out a wrong answer. You've got a 50-50 split, poll the audience, or there's like a kind of wild card lifeline where you can Google it or you can ask somebody in your house. Let's get straight into it. First question. A Darwinist is by definition a believer in what concept? Gravity, evolution, relativity, Big Bang Theory.
I'm going to go with Bravo. Give me a B, give me evolution.
Let's lock it in. It's a little bit controversial, that first question, and the answer is correct. Well done. Shouldn't really be controversial. Okay. A familiar sight to people who excel at carnival games, the goldfish is technically a member of what fish family? Perch, trout, carp, or bream? Goldfish.
Oh, I am not this. I am a terrible Canadian. I am not a fisherman. Oh, wow. Am I really going to use a lifeline in question number 2?
You know what? Somebody used a
okay.
lifeline in the very first question, and they went on to go all the way. So, if you're not sure, yeah.
Oh, did they really? Man, I'm leaning. I really don't know. So
lock it in.
Let's do the 50-50. Or you think I can lock in the C?
Lock it in. That's the last time I help you. Correct.
Right, let's do it.
All right.
I think.
Well, I felt guilty because I just gave a speech about if you're not sure, don't say it, and you had it right. So everything balances out. All right, continuing on.
Right on.
A device that some people fear will accidentally create a black hole, the Large Hadron Collider, is a what? New Tesla model, cappuccino machine, AI interface, or particle accelerator?
Yeah, that is a delta. That's a particle accelerator.
Correct. Well done. Doing very well. You got all your lifelines. Now this one's a bit bizarre. A disorder where objects appear shrunken, Lilliputian hallucinations derives its name from what novel? Gulliver's Travels, Huckleberry Finn, A Christmas Carol, Pride and Prejudice. Something to do with everything appearing shrunken.
Yeah. And I apologize if my video is frozen on your side there. It's probably the internet. Let's see here. Shrunken. Objects appear. Oh man. Give me the 50-50. I'm gonna do the 50-50.
There it is. A and B are left. Gulliver's Travels or Huckleberry Finn?
Man, I'm so not cultured. I haven't read either of these. I guess I'm gonna go with. It's got to be Gulliver's Travelers. It can't be Huckleberry Finn.
Lock it in. Oh, I started sweating there. I thought you were gonna go out early. Still alive. Well done. Okay. An evil boy called Damien is the main character of what classic horror flick? The Exorcist, The Omen, The Good Son, or Insidious? You don't know this one off the bat, then you're in trouble.
I haven't watched any of these. How many people are watching? Can I ask the audience? Do we have more than 2 people watching?
Could be. Yeah, we'll poll the audience. If you're not sure, you got no idea? Okay.
Let's poll the audience because I don't watch horror flicks.
We just have to wait. What are you drinking there? Coffee.
Costa Rica, and it's Costa Rica, so we have some of the best coffee in the world.
Too. All right, they're coming in.
Oh, it's so tasty.
There we have it. Okay, so we've got 8% on A, 73% are saying the Omen, C is 6%, and D 13%.
I'm going to put my trust in the crowds and trust that they are more horror flick fans than I am. Let's go with Bravo, the Omen.
Let's lock it in. And that is correct. Well done. You're at the safe level.
Thank you.
And it's about this time, I got to tell you, that there is not actually $1 million to be won, just in case it's just for fun. Somebody did actually think they'd won quite a lot of money. Continuing on.
Oh.
Yeah. Conditions apply.
Oh, shit.
Checks in the mail. A famous passage from the Bible, the 23rd Psalm, begins with the line, "The Lord is my what? Guide, father, brother, or shepherd." I was going to do funny answers, but I thought I might upset somebody on this one.
Yeah, you
never know.
You could in this day and age. Just go with Delta, shepherd.
Okay, let's lock it in. He's been to Sunday school. Absolutely correct. He's starting to get up there. Well done. You've got one wild card lifeline left. A family that wants everything instantly, the Right Nows, appear in commercials promoting what? This is hard. Netflix, Amazon, eBay, or Disney Plus. Often when there's two things...
Oh, that's got to be Amazon.
Sorry?
It's got to be Amazon.
Well, I was going to say...
I'm gotta be Amazon.
Let me just finish my clue, because it might help you. Often when you have two...
Cool.
Oh, actually, it doesn't really help. Use your lifeline. Have you got your phone on you?
Yeah, I got my phone.
All right, Google the Right Nows, and we'll use your last lifeline.
It's called the Right House. Sorry, the screen's
The Right Nows. WRIGHTNOWS. You got 30 seconds.
Oh, I see it now. The Right Nows. Gotcha. Okay, the right Nows appear. Now I can read it. Appear in commercials promoting what? The Right Nows. Come on, Google. Okay. Well, I guess my answer is going to change to Netflix because it's showing right beside a video recommending Netflix now delivers movies directly to your TV. So Netflix. Hey,
I locked it in 1 second before the timer went up. You're still alive. All lifelines are gone. How far can he go? I've never heard of that commercial.
That was a little extra. There was a little extra help.
Yeah, well, that's what the lifelines are for. These questions are hard. I had no idea myself. Maybe if you're Canadian, so a lot of these might be US based.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. A classic 1984 Super Bowl commercial titled 1984 introduced what product to the public? iPhone, iPod, Macintosh computer, iPad.
Well, that's got to be the Macintosh computer. It's got to be.
Let's lock it in.
Let's see.
Flying by the seat of his pants. No lifelines left. And correct. Well done, Andrew. I believe in you. You can go all the way. I've seen it before. Okay, this one, I don't know if you're a rev head or a gear head. A famous auto racing venue, the Bonneville Salt Flats, occupy over 30,000 acres of what US state? New York, Maine, Utah, or Alaska?
I'm not a gearhead, but I'm almost positive that's Utah. That's got to be.
Lock it in. Unbelievable. He's up at 16,000 in funny money. Conditions apply. Continuing on. A famous American Revolutionary War flag features a rattlesnake with what motto printed underneath? America, Guns and Ammo, MAGA, or Don't Tread on Me?
Oh wow, this is a hard question for a Canadian.
And look at the time frame of when this flag was created, and that will rule out a few. Are you a Metallica fan?
What's that, sorry?
Metallica fan? Yeah.
A Metallica fan?
You know the Black Album?
Yeah.
It has a picture of a rattlesnake on the cover, and it has a song named after this saying on that album.
Is there really? Wow. Okay. Shit. It's been ages. It's been ages since I listened to the album. I grew up listening to Metallica, but I'm not listening to them much anymore these days. Okay, I'm gonna go with it's gotta be Guns and Ammo.
Unfortunately, it's Don't Tread on Me. I believe it is from that album. Well, you did
Gotcha.
well. You had some rough questions.
I appreciate the tip, though.
Yeah. All right. Let's end the silliness. And I'm very interested in what you are doing, Andrew, because YouTube for business is a topic that I immediately went, oh, here's somebody doing something useful and different. Tell us a little bit about that. And I guess the journey that got you to being in Costa Rica and doing what you're doing.
Yeah, and dude, seriously, interviewed on podcasts all the time, and that was cool. That was very different. I like your style. Probably. I'll back up to share my why, because I think that's actually one of the main reasons why people keep inviting me onto podcasts. Actually, back in so almost 5 years ago, back in 2018, can only be described as rock bottom. I was in a very dark time in my life. I had just ended a marriage. I was sleeping on an air mattress, way too much debt. I was absolutely convinced that my life was ruined, and I was the world's biggest loser. Okay. It was a really dark time, and I'm coming up to the 5-year anniversary of that, which just think, wow, that's crazy. I can't believe it's been 5 years. So things, and I promise this is the best way for me to answer your question, because you covered a lot of territory in that question. There are two things that helped me completely change my life around. And one of those things was becoming obsessed with YouTube. I can point to a number of YouTube channels, and in some cases, I'm not exaggerating when I say this, I can point to specific YouTube videos that I found all of those years ago, completely changed my life. It sounds cheesy, but doesn't make it any less true. No, it doesn't. So I was able to get most importantly, I was able to get my mindset right. I was able to get my health and fitness right. I was able to get my finances right. All because some very business savvy, successful people had the courage to hit the record button and post YouTube content for free. And people like me who didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, I didn't have to become their customer. I didn't have to buy their product, buy their service. All I had to do was watch their free YouTube videos, and they still benefited. They still benefited because of how the YouTube AI functions. YouTube switched to an AI model back in 2013. I know a lot of people are talking about AI these days. I've been using AI for years. All of us have. It's called YouTube. And their channels were able to grow, reach, influence, credibility because they were getting more views, more watch time from people like me. So one thing led to another. I got into digital marketing. I got into social media marketing, and I became really dissatisfied with the results we were producing for the employer I was working for through social media. But I always got really excited when it came time to share the performance metrics with our YouTube strategy. So that's where I really cut my teeth. I was an employee in those days. I'm going to fast forward a little bit now. Eventually, I became a freelancer, a contractor, a YouTube consultant. And then after doing that for 2 or 3 years, I became a little bit bitter about that business model simply because I realized that there was a huge need for companies to outsource their people, processes, and problems to experts. Because I'll give you a quick story. I had one client who brought me in as a YouTube consultant to really turn, he kind of hit a plateau. His YouTube wasn't growing anymore. And he had already generated tens of thousands of dollars of revenue from his YouTube channel. So he knew the potential. Things up and get things back on track. However, he was dissatisfied with the lack of results. And that put me in a really uncomfortable position because I had to say, Mr. Client, your video editor didn't even show up to work for 2 or 3 days last week. I thought he quit. You know, like when your team isn't accountable for the tasks, the roles, the responsibilities that they're paid for, then we can't do much on the YouTube program because we're not successfully executing, right? And your graphic designer, unfortunately, isn't following my instructions. Here I have an entire email thread to prove that, right? So for the lack of results, when I realized that, you know, obviously I'm not sharing his name, he just wasn't a very good employer. He was a bad leader in his company, right? So that left a really bad taste in my mouth. And I said, that's it, no more. I'm not doing this ever again. I decided to launch YTERRA. We are a full-service YouTube marketing firm. We specialize in helping businesses and professionals. And why? Well, because there are a lot of YouTube experts and consultants out there in the world, and almost, I would say, the lion's share, the vast majority of them are helping creators. They're helping creators become businesses. I was able to turn my life around because businesses were promoting themselves using a YouTube channel. And in my view, businesses, for the most part, are doing it very, very wrong. And so that's what I'm passionate about. Nothing against creators, nothing against influencers, nothing against entertainers, but those people have all kinds of YouTube experts supporting them. And when I looked at the marketplace, I realized that the business community didn't really have a YouTube expert to lean on. There's not really that many YouTube experts out there that are specializing on helping the professional, the business. And then when I decided to launch Done For You services, well, that's when I realized there was almost nobody out there. So that's what I'm passionate about. But then to answer your other question, and I'll make this one super quick, I also, back in 2018, I said there were 2 things that helped me completely change my life around. One was becoming obsessed with YouTube. The second thing was becoming a digital nomad. So I've been traveling the world as a digital nomad since 2018. I have lived and worked in Canada, the United States, Mexico, Spain, England, Scotland, and now I'm in Costa Rica. Stopping anytime soon. In fact, next year I will likely be moving onto a cruise ship, and I'll be living and working on board a cruise ship, running my business from the ship, traveling the world. So that's I think that covered all of the questions that you just asked.
That sounds awesome. And you know, what is it that businesses are getting wrong about this that you see on YouTube? What are they perceiving, and it's just not the right way to do it?
That's it's really difficult to narrow it down to one thing, but ultimately it's the business or the professional is making videos for what they want to make, and they're not making videos for their viewer. That's honestly, I can boil it all right down to that one sentence, because there are a lot on YouTube, but if you aren't putting the viewer first, then you might as well just stop doing YouTube. And with that, I mean, I would be less concerned about what your channel looks like as far as being on brand. And I would be and if I was your YouTube consultant, I would say, let's make sure we're making videos on topics your viewers, your leads, and your customers care. That's number one. If you don't get the topic right, I don't care how great your thumbnail or your title is. No one's going to click because you picked a boring topic that nobody cares about. Yeah. Right? And then after you pick a great topic, that's when we can zero in on a great title and a great thumbnail. And you know what? Every business, almost 99 businesses out of 100, you know what they do? They create a video, whether it's maybe or maybe they're driving their car and they think about something, so they hit the record button on there. It's always reactive. And I tell my clients, stop being so reactive. If you want to grow a successful YouTube channel to a huge size that will give you amazing credibility, authority, reach, influence, and ultimately sales and revenue, then you need to prioritize it. You need to actually block off time on your calendar for ideation and content creation. And when that time comes, you need to treat that as seriously as if you were meeting with a client. If you're pushing it off, if you're not prioritizing it, then, well, if you don't take care of YouTube, YouTube's not going to take care of you. Essentially, that's what we're talking about at the end of the day. If you ideate and really zero in on the topics that people are going to care about, then you craft, you package, you work on the packaging, which is the power twins, the title and the thumbnail. Because if you can't compel someone to click on your video, why are you making the video? Every business I come across, they're making the video, they're uploading it to YouTube, and then they go, oh, I need a title, I need a thumbnail. And then they quickly go to Canva, and I'm sorry, but they do a piss poor job. It's almost always a half-ass, and they wonder why they only got 7 views, 12 views. Well, I'm sorry, but I know some very successful YouTubers. I'm very fortunate. I'm going to be attending Vid Summit again at the first week of October, and I know some of the brightest minds in YouTube. I know some of the largest YouTubers in YouTube, and they don't do that. You know, if you're going to put a piss poor job on the packaging of your video, I'm sorry, the truth is that human beings, we're very vain creatures. We like pretty things. You know, if I spent $40,000 on a Hublot watch, that watch better, and I'm not a bling bling kind of guy, I don't know if you can tell. I don't have, you know, a lot of watches or chains or anything like that. But if you spent a watch, that watch better come in a really nice box. It just better. It's the same thing on YouTube. If someone sees, pardon the language, but if someone sees a shit thumbnail, they're immediately going to assume this is a shit video. I'm not going to waste my time and attention, because someone's time and attention is a valuable asset on the planet. It's more valuable than money, real estate, cryptocurrency, or gold. I don't care. But I will put a person's time and attention up against any other asset class, and I will win. Yeah, because nothing happens.
Yeah, the attention is key. It's like that. People sometimes think, oh, it's kind of clickbaity or whatever, but you got to get those eyeballs first. You got to get that click, and then you have the good content, and then they like it. What I wanted to say though was, what types of content? You know, like sometimes I see a lot of people do like tutorial videos and stuff, and then I think they sort of are limited. Like you do get views and stuff, but you won't see many big like business YouTubers doing that type of stuff. It seems to be more about the personality and getting to know them. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna piss off some people by saying this, but I hate testimonial videos.
Oh yeah,
I hate them. Stop doing them. If you're a business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a professional, and you think your YouTube channel is gonna blow up by putting testimonial videos, you are absolutely wrong. I've never seen it work. You know what videos? Your landing page, your website, you know. Not your YouTube channel. It's the wrong platform. Oh, yeah. Stop doing it. That's one of the first things I would tell my client, or if I was coaching anybody on YouTube strategy for their business, stop putting testimonials on your YouTube video. You're wasting your time. No one's going to watch those things. Yeah, so when it comes to the actually answering your question, kind of formats that work, that's where we're going to get into the juicy stuff. There's so many different ways you can do this, but you can't really. It's kind of putting the cart before the horse if we don't really back up and do a couple things first. I would really need a better understanding of the niche or the industry my client is operating in, because I need to know who the viewer avatar is. You need to be crystal clear on who the viewer avatar is, who your buyer avatar is. Figure out who your buyer avatar is. So for your viewers that are watching the screen, if my hands are making a circle right now, if that represents your buyer avatar, then, and you've defined your buyer avatar really well, and if you're in business, you should have, what I need you to do is zoom out and make a much bigger circle to define who your viewer avatar is. Because that's what you want to treat YouTube as. Is obsessed with one thing and one thing alone, putting the perfect video in front of the perfect viewer at the perfect time. It does that better than anything else what's the number one pain point for every single business on the planet? Putting their brand in front of the perfect prospect at the perfect time. So made in heaven. Every single business should have a YouTube channel, but you need to define who your viewer avatar is so that we can then figure out what kind of content to attract the right viewer avatar. Now, that could be reaction videos. It could be you reacting to content or reacting to current events or news articles that are being published about your industry, so that we can raise your thought leadership about, oh, this is Julian's impression, or this is how he's interpreting this big news and is affecting every one of my clients or every one of my prospects, right? It could be you making reaction videos. That tends to perform depending on who your viewer avatar is, okay? You could do something like doing a podcast. Hosting a podcast is absolutely a great way to raise your thought leadership, raise your awareness around you, your personal brand, and your professional brand. Something that blows me away that most podcasters or podcast hosts are not aware of. Go online, Google it right now. YouTube is the #1 platform for podcasts, period. All stop. It's crazy to me why so many podcasters ignore the #1 podcast platform on the planet. They're on Spotify, they're on Apple, they're on Google Podcast, they're on all these other platforms, and I'm like, you're not on the #1 podcast platform? Then can you really call yourself a podcast if you're not on YouTube? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm again probably pissing some people off by saying this stuff, but if you just go that extra mile and record your podcast in video format, you'll be able to repurpose that content in dozens of ways. If you're only recording your podcast in audio only, you are literally painting yourself into a corner. Stop it. Nothing is more valuable than someone's time and attention, and you're drastically reducing your chances of success. And in some cases, there are some wildly successful podcasts, and I'm not going to drop any names, but there's some huge podcasts, and then I go try to find them on YouTube because that's my platform of choice. I prefer to use YouTube over any other platform. I know, golly, what a surprise that a YouTube expert would say that. And then I see, they don't even have a presence on YouTube, or they might have like 10,000 subscribers or 50, and they've got millions on the other platforms. And I'm like, really? You're really going to ignore the #1 podcast platform and you're a huge podcaster? It doesn't make any sense to me. There, because you probably have other questions.
Well, I mean, the thing about the podcast and YouTube at the same time, people think that it creates too much work. You can actually simultaneously pretty much automate a lot of that stuff. And the other thing is that when you're putting it on YouTube, YouTube will actually, section it for you, and it will index particular sections in Google search, and they'll come up the top. So you can be talking about content, and you come up at #1 a lot easier than you were if you were to put it on your blog, or if you're putting it into just audio, it's not getting indexed really by Google at all, I don't think. And they won't find you. Yeah, so you got to do that. And the one thing I think people need to do is what Andrew talked about was you need to. People have all this confusion about their messaging, and you need to go back, which is what Andrew was talking about. Work out who your client avatar is. What is your messaging going to be to them, and then you get that clarity, and then you can start working on the content. And so I really like the idea of what Andrew's doing. The YTforbusinesscom. If you are thinking about, look, I need to get my content sorted, I would say go do YouTube first. Not even do podcasting first. Do YouTube first, and then just get into the swing of that. So check out Andrew's course. I honestly, truly recommend this because I tell everybody you've got to get on YouTube. And what do you do? Tell us a bit about how you deliver the course content.
Yeah, it's this YTforbusinesscom is a monster of a program. It's A to Z. I cover absolutely everything that a business or a professional would need to know about growing a YouTube channel. And at present, if you were to take the entire course at 1x speed and not do the homework, which I don't advise, to absolutely do the homework. But if you were just to sit down and watch all the videos, it'll take you about 18 hours to get through everything. And I'm still adding to the program because as just like any platform these days, things are constantly changing, things are constantly improving. The YouTube platform is a very important platform for any business because it's the #2 website on the planet. It's the #2 search engine on the planet. And by some metrics, it actually holds the #1 spot. But like you mentioned, Alphabet owns both Google and YouTube. There's a strong data correlation between the two platforms. People search on Google, but when someone wants to learn about a subject, they go to YouTube. Nobody goes to Facebook or LinkedIn or any of the other platforms. Name the platform. Say, how do I start a podcast? Nobody does that. People do that on YouTube every single day. So do you want your videos popping up there or do you want your competitors' videos popping up there? I cover all of this stuff in that online program. And then you also get access to a private Facebook group community. And obviously you get grandfathered into all the upgrades and updates
that was
I'm
what I
going to
was
be
going to
adding
say,
in the
because
coming
that'd be
years.
the one thing, the one objection or worry that people have with these things is they're going to do the course, they're going to get lost in it, and they're not going to have any help. So you address that. What do you do in the Facebook group?
In Facebook group, full disclosure, the Facebook group is more like a self-management aspect because I am very, very, at YTERRA, our main product is the done-for-you services. And so that's where the bulk of our energy is focused on. Full disclosure, I'm being totally transparent with you here. I felt like my hand was forced a couple years ago when I realized, a lot of businesses, a lot of professionals cannot afford done-for-you services. Done-for-you services is expensive. It just is, because it doesn't matter the industry. It always sells as a premium because the client is essentially outsourcing the people, processes, and problems to the experts. In this case, me and my team. Right? We obsess over helping businesses grow on YouTube. That's all we do. We don't do anything else. We only do YouTube. And we're expensive. And I realize we're priced out of a lot of people's budget. So I launched the online course, put a lot of work into it, and like I said, I'm always going to be adding to it. I'm not currently active in the Facebook community. I will be dropping in on a regular basis to do live streams and AMAs. That's always been my intention. And I will likely be hiring a community manager in the next year or so to make sure that some people are getting that extra little bit of support that they're looking for. Online course is specifically designed for people, but less budget. As long as they do the course and complete the homework assignments, they have access to everything they actually need to be able to grow a successful YouTube channel that grows their business. And then if their budget allows, they could always hire me for a consultation coaching. And if they one day wish to outsource all the activities and the management and the content calendar and the YouTube optimization, if they want to outsource the video editing and the thumbnails and the titles, if they want to outsource all of that, well then, yeah, they can come to YTERRA and we can definitely take that off their plate so that they can focus on growing their business.
Right. So you've got two options there. You've got the full service system, which is YTERRA. Is that correct?
YTERRA.com. That's
YTERRA.
YTERRA.com. That's the business, and the done for you services is our main focus. That's where That's where we truly shine, if I'm being honest. And there's almost nobody doing what we do. It was actually shocking to me when I looked at the marketplace and I realized almost nobody was offering done-for-you services in the YouTube marketing space. Probably because it's a lot of work and it's hard.
Yeah. And if people just want to get a taste, then head to YTforbusiness.com. What's the cost of that course, Andrew?
It's currently $497. I do not have any current plans increasing the price, but me being totally, in the interest of being totally transparent and open and honest with everybody here, I have been advised that I need to bump it up to $2,000. So I'm not going to be doing that today or tomorrow or even next week. But as at present, it is $497, and it will be going up in price.
Well, that sounds good. So if you want to take control of your content and get a handle on YouTube, which you do need to do, and I know that you are feeling lost and frustrated because I have gone through that, and doing it on your own is not to be recommended. I strongly believe because you can hit the ground running if you've got somebody who knows what they're doing, and it will save you probably 2 years of putting out crap videos. So I recommend anybody, have a chat with Andrew and get your YouTube game on. Thanks for coming on, Andrew.
Thank you, Julian. This was fun, man.
I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching and listening. See you next time. Bye.